welcome to Raising Vibrations. You with Simon today. And today I'm excited to be sharing with you a series that I'm bringing into my YouTube channel. This is something that basically dawned on me probably about 6 or 7 hours ago. And it's really fresh within myself at this point. And I'd like to open up and share with you what I've got in store in terms of this video series. So because this is the first one, I want to give a little bit of an introduction into what it is that's actually happening. I got inspired, like I said, a couple of hours ago regarding the way that I've been progressing through my own, consciousness and the way that I've been building up Raising Vibrations and what it's meant to me and what it's meant for others that I've worked with. And so over the period of time that I've been working with many souls, I've found incredible and beautiful gems in every single one of the souls that I've spoken to. Each person that I've spoken to has brought so many wonderful stories of their lives to me. Some of them have been tragic. Some of them have been, when I say tragic, I mean in the sense that there's been a lot of pain that have been experienced, and we all, to a certain degree, carry with us some of those threads. So upon thinking about how I've experienced them and what I've gathered from those experiences and how other people have accelerated my own consciousness in terms of what I share with you today and what I share with you on Raising Vibrations, I found this little pocket of why do I not indirectly share a lot of my own reflections that I've received from doing readings and consultations and metamorphosis programs with others, etc. And kind of just allow for other people's stories that they've experienced and what I felt through those stories to be shared with everybody. Obviously, this is not putting everybody's name out there, so I don't mean it like that. But yeah, so that's what I'm going to be doing in this video series. Okay, I don't actually know what it's going to be called. I'm just putting it out there. This is the first one. I have to act on my emotions at this point in time. Otherwise, I feel like the energy that I was carrying when I was feeling into this inspiration is going to disappear. So there's a part of me that wonders if you actually catch the excitement that I'm experiencing at this stage. Anyway, so today's video, apart from the introduction, is one on the nature of finding meaning. Okay. And this is an interesting one because for me personally, I've found that on my own journey of discovering myself, trying to figure out what am I supposed to be doing, how am I supposed to be doing this, why am I here, etc. I've found myself like really being connected to that story, to that tagline, okay, of what is my meaning, what is the purpose, how do I find purpose? And honestly, there's about 50,000 other people out there, and maybe that's an extreme, but there's loads and loads of people out there that in some way, shape or form feel that they know what the answer to that question is, and they've manifested certain websites and certain teachings and programs and all these types of things to encourage you to find that purpose. And I suppose to a certain degree, it's not actually the totality of the answer itself, because it's only what each of us individually have discovered as what the purpose of life is about, or the meaning and how we find that. And I think that is the great way to start with this conversation about what does meaning look to me? What does meaning look like to me? And also, how do I actually integrate that into my life? So I noticed that we tend to spend, and of course, every single person that's probably watching this video to a certain degree has asked themselves that question. So this is not something that's like, just exclusive to one or two people, but it is definitely something that I feel is a very commonly asked personal inquiry when we are alone with ourselves and we're trying to figure out what we can do for the world. That whole feeling of how can we be of service to humanity in that way. I mean, that's a big story. I feel that most of us spend a period of our time looking at the kind of stories that we have lived in the past. Okay, so we live these stories in the past. Or should I say, we live our stories, and what they do to us is they reveal to us at each point when they become critical, depending on what type of transits you're having, they become sort of illuminated for us, So for me, for instance, the last 6 months has been an incredibly awakening experience for me because of having to go deep within my own karmic, family dynamics and bringing out the nature of what has conditioned me in a very unconscious way. I've gone through my fourth house Pluto transit, or should I say solar return transit, and it's really, really dug up some stuff that's brought more illumination to my own personal story. And so that's what I mean about specific periods of our life where that stuff comes up for us even in a deeper way. And especially when you're conscious of what's going on, you can actually accelerate yourself in a way that brings more spiritual integration. So what I've found as I've interacted with people that have asked me this question, the response that I have not only discovered within myself, but also noticed that is essential is, and this is interesting because it's actually tied in with what I feel the full moon in Capricorn's about as well. And that is that the relationship to feeling what is being brought to you by the universe, okay? What is being revealed to you in your moment-to-moment reality and how your feelings are responding to those experiences, those moment-to-moment realities, okay? And it's fascinating because when I look into this even in a more deeper way, or become more sensitive to what it is that I'm talking about, I notice that this is a very in-touch thing with the Virgo-Pisces axis. And in particular, the nature of Virgo and how Virgo, from my perspective, in its most highest vibration, reflects sacred space, which of course is how we are creating routines or following behaviors or behavior patterns within ourselves, and how they are in moment to moment revealing to us where purification needs to take place, okay? Where a routine or a movement or a path that we are on is not bringing us stillness, that is not bringing us serenity, that is not bringing us within ourselves and allowing us to experience non-resistance. Okay, and I think that that's what's the key to this whole entire discussion. Finding meaning, I feel, is connected with resistance. Okay, and for somebody like myself who has Pluto in the 10th house of the astrological chart, Capricorn 10th house is very much about creating blocks within your life to force necessary shifting, i.e. perspective shifting, that eventually over a period of time becomes a very singular path versus one that is more, scattered all over the place and in different directions. It kind of like says, no, that's not the way, that's not the way, that's not the way, and this is the way that you've got to go. So when I feel the question come up around, am I in synchronicity? Am I in flow? Am I in highest vibration? Then I immediately asked myself, is my body connected to myself? Am I connected to my body? Am I actually sensing with my intuition? Am I sensing with my emotional body? Am I sensing with exactly that? Now, what's fascinating about the story is that the nature of deconditioning the mind in itself is something that I feel we all have to, at some point in our time, really, really get stuck into, okay? And again, this is a big story regarding the nature of Pluto moving through Capricorn, and of course, Pluto also moving through the Uranus-Neptune conjunction that took place in Capricorn between 1988 and 1995, and particularly that energy that's being created because, of course, Pluto is moving over Capricorn at this point in time, activating the Pluto and Scorpio generation souls, which I'll get into in a different video. So I'm coming back to the core over here and I'm saying finding meaning is linked with resistance, and flow is naturally revealed to us in each moment when we are sensitive in our bodies, i.e. that we're in the body and it is revealing to us where we're feeling the sense of like, oh, I don't enjoy this. Like I'm frustrated, as an example. And the frustration being a reflection of what is not working for you. Now, I think that the context of my discussion needs to also be put into different categories. In other words, there are souls out there that are watching this video that don't have children, that are in some way, shape, or form very free to maneuver and allow this to be present with yourself. For me, for instance, my children take up a large majority of my time. And for me to be completely and utterly consciously aware of what's happening in each moment regarding my outer circumstances in reality isn't something that I get to experience as often as I would like. So there is a need for allowing yourself enough space to feel into your vibration, feel into your energy centers and how those are, revealing to you through your emotions and to your, exactly that, to your emotions, to your feelings, and how you are responding to your environment in that way. And I feel that the context, or should I say the outline of this entire experience, is to develop a relationship with the body as a vehicle for allowing you to know where you are in consciousness and allowing the flow of consciousness in the universe to be moving you in a direction that is without resistance, i.e. that your whole entire being, soul, higher self, whatever you want to call it, is allowing you to move in a synchronistic way that is allowing your experience of your reality to be fluid and flowing, like I said. So for me, for instance, the Pluto in Scorpio article, okay, that will be released on Sunday, which is the 17th of July, took a very long period of time to write for me. In fact, I didn't actually put any pen to paper with it at all. And I, for me originally, say for instance, a year ago, I wrote the Pluto and Virgo article. And then I was like, wow, I've got to do this. Pluto in Libra, Pluto in Scorpio, I've got to do all the Plutos, man, just write this stuff out. And I noticed that when I began to actually write it, it wasn't working. It was like, nope, the flow is not there. The download is not present with me. The sense of what it is that I'm trying to put across is, it's not working in the way that I need it to be. So I left it and I got frustrated because I didn't understand what was going on. Because I was like, I'm promising all you guys out there that this video is going to come out, or this article is going to come out, etc. And it wasn't working for me. And then I realized now, within the last, month, that the more I honored the little sort of emotional center or feeling center, or this tapping within inside of myself that said, okay, go. And under the worst circumstances you can possibly think for a writer to write stuff, I managed to actually dialogue this whole entire article. In terms of children just being chaotic and me having to need concentration, but this wasn't available to me in that sense. So what I'm saying is that it came through that point in time, right? It came through instantly. It was a day and the whole entire article was written. And then what I started to notice is that Learn Your Chart, which is a new program that I have basically launched, that is out now at this point in time, which is completely based around the know yourself understanding. In other words, that true spirituality, true empowerment, true self-awareness comes from the realization that when you are centered within yourself and you're learning about the nature of your own creation and realization of who you are then getting in touch with the authentic meaning that is present for you, that actually gets delivered to you in authenticity as it is. In other words, that when you're in synchronicity with yourself, when you are in flow with yourself, the natural realizations and awarenesses and openings up and awakenings that your soul needs to go through when it's ready for those experiences will happen. And that it actually completely breaks the whole paradox or the whole time frame regarding how we respond to time as human beings. So for me, for instance, I worked a lot with, I work a lot with energy coming into me and needing to get it out, needing to share it, needing to objectify the experience, what's going on for me at this point, and what I notice is that if I'm in response to the energy or to what I'm trying to do in a way where I feel like time is not on my side, like I'm running out of time, what I create is nothing compared to what I'm capable of manifesting when I'm in the heart. So I noticed that if I told myself and explained to myself that the process of manifestation regarding things that have meaning to me must occur when I'm in a space of stillness or in a space of flow, then the relationship to time has to change for me. I need to be able to say, okay, I have enough time to do this thing, and if anything is now forcing me to not focus on it at this point in time, then I need to step back and allow that process to then digest, mature, etc. And when that time is available to me in a natural way, and I come back to it, it actually then manifests in a natural state where I'm completely and utterly energized by my experience of it. So the Learn Your Chart whole program was completely and utterly in synchronicity with the fact of this realization. Also with the realization that the Pluto and Scorpio article was coming out, okay, and it was in realization of the full moon that's going to be taking place for us in 2 days' time. All of those things manifested in one go. Like the synchronicity wasn't in one go like this. And then all of a sudden, I realized that in that moment where my service needs to be, where I need to be paying attention. And that's the second key to this process. Where are you paying attention? What are you paying attention to? And how is that focus or that attention providing you with the realization that you are either in synchronicity with yourself or you are out of flow? In other words, how is consciousness and flow presenting itself in each moment and allowing you to move like a fish through water without the process of needing the mind to control and dictate? And that's what happened to me. I allowed the mind to dictate and control the nature of how I needed to manifest stuff, which brought me these chunks of these little blocks of half manifested things out of context for me, etc. And I realized that it doesn't work. And that's when I began to realize how much more of our manifestation, especially when it comes to soulful meaning, cannot come from the mind. It has to come from the heart. And I don't mean it in the sense where, oh, okay, Raising Vibrations just creates the stuff, he talks about these things, and then he doesn't even do it himself. No, I don't mean about that. I mean that when you are completely and utterly in a state of the pull, in other words, where the energy that is the vibration, the energy that is your natural manifestation, your natural path, is actually flowing through the heart. In other words, if I could have a stream that's behind me like that, and a stream going forward, and my energetic center, i.e. my beingness, my body itself, is connected with that flow, then what I'm actually doing is I'm moving along in that direction, and the heart is just going, no, yes, no, yes, no, yes, no, yes, no, yes, and the mind's going, manifest, manifest, manifest. And that's how it's got to be. But that takes practice, which I don't think that most of us have actually been able to understand, grasp, or do. Because most of our lives have been about external definitions and what we need to do outwardly to survive versus what the heart is saying. If you trust me, you'll know what abundance is, because abundance is always consistently brought to you when you are in response to what your higher self is asking, or soul flow is about, because you'll never be in a vibrational state that is not aligned. So that's something to ponder, guys. I really hope that you enjoyed that video, and let me know what you think in terms of writing in the comments below about what I've shared with you today. I also feel and encourage you to actually write about your own experiences so that when other people are reading the comments, they're getting an ability to accelerate their own consciousness from a different perspective. And that's something that I also want to encourage, like I said, encourage you to do, encourage as a community. Write in the comments below and allow other people to be able to accelerate and learn from other people's perspectives, like I just said. Okay? Fantastic, guys. Thank you very much for participating in this first video. I'm really excited to be sharing this with you on an ongoing basis. I already feel that I know what I want to talk about in episode 2. And when I do have the flow to be able to share that, and I feel energized regarding that message, it will be out on YouTube. So check that out. Other than that, have a awesome week or weekend, and I'll speak to you soon. Take care.